So everybody, I had just watched a video and I wanted to talk about, is Kris alive or is Kris from deltarune actually dead? I mean, I don't think he's like dead. What I think is that Kris is actually barely hanging on to life, and like we are using the soul to actually keep him alive. But like he's trying to get away from it all. I mean, that could be wrong, but really, I don't see any other option of Kris either being dead or alive. Because, I mean, for one, he's a teenager that's in a school that looks like it's for like 5 to 13-year-old kids, and he looks like he's like 15, 16. And really, one of the biggest things is that he actually just wants to play a massive board game in a spare classroom or closet room or whatever it is. I think it is a classroom because obviously Ralph did mention it, saying that he wanted you to grab all the pieces from that classroom and then bring them to the Dark World in chapter 2, near to the beginning. But the thing is, I don't know, it's just, I bet Kris has done all of it before, but has actually gotten annoyed to the point that a reset happened, and now we're the soul and we're just controlling him. I bet, like, he wanted to pretty much end himself, but then we're controlling his actions. We're telling him what we want him to say. But really, in both chapters, we find out that Kris actually has a choice in what they want to say. But they know, obviously, since Susie says they have no choice in this world, they have no choice of wanting to pick their own consequences or whatever. Just think about this whole thing and see if it makes sense to you lot, because it makes a lot of sense to me that Kris is literally on the verge of death and we're just controlling him to keep him alive. And I feel like he's creating more portals to actually get away from us, to hope that we wouldn't catch him. And that's why in chapter 1 he threw the soul in the cage, which is us, after ripping his soul out, or what we think is his soul, then grabbing out a knife. But obviously, as we could tell, he couldn't really resist it. And then obviously we find out in chapter 2 that he was just after some massive chunk of pie. But then, obviously chapter 2 is different. He decides to use us, the soul, to open the next Dark World / Dark Fountain. So really, Kris could have been The S word. Yeah. The word. Want him to himself. He could be depressed as hell, but you never know. Or he's probably just had enough and we're controlling him, which will annoy him even more, that he wants to try and take his own life back. Either way, tell me what you lot think.